2025 saw a new Superman movie fly onto the big screen. And with a new Superman, toys were sure to follow, and follow they did, including a retro-inspired Superpowers movie tie-in from McFarlane Toys. But that wasn't the only retro Kinder-inspired Superman movie toy line that dropped in 2025, because Spin Master also brought us a 1978 Superman the Movie retro line modeled after the original Kinder Star Wars figures of the late 70s and early 80s. Which retro Superman toy line reigns supreme? Well, we'll give you our thoughts in today's video. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. And yes, today we will be comparing two Superman retro lines that dropped in 2025. That is the Spin Master Superman 78 line and the McFarlane Toys Superpowers Superman Wave, which was Wave 12. This will be a little bit different than our normal unboxings and reviews in the sense that we're not really going to unbox anything, but we are going to do some, in a lot of cases, apples to oranges comparisons for these figures, but give our thoughts on each one, give each line their individual ranking, and then at the end tell you which one we think was the better Superman retro line for 2025. So there are a lot of figures to get to, 6 in each line, and we are not going to waste any time because there are so many. We'll jump right in. Let's go ahead and talk about the presentation and packaging first. So we've got the very Star Wars-esque Superman 78 Spin Master packaging that is kind of just the movie poster on the front. Let's talk a little bit about the Spin Master packaging first. Chris, I think you have some of those on card over there.
Yeah, so first we're going to have up is just Superman. For the most part, all of these characters have the exact same card art, which is just, like you said, the Superman movie poster, the classic Superman the movie title, and the awesome Superman logo. The big difference is the name tag. Everybody has their own, Superman, Lois, Lex Luthor, everything. Right. Card art wise, I love it. It's Superman the movie. You and me have always loved this movie, so
we've seen that movie poster so many times.
So many times. So this is fantastic. On the back, though, we do have just images of the 6 action figures themselves. So nothing that really draws your attention to it. So pretty much the eye candy for me. The front, the back is just, it's there.
It's there. Yeah, it's pretty simple. It's pretty simple in its design. Like I said, very reminiscent of the old Star Wars packaging.
And actually, I don't know if that's how they actually did that with the Star Wars. So if it is spot on with the Star Wars, how they did that, I got to bump it up a little bit, actually.
It's pretty close. So you can't really knock Spin Master too much for not having the rights to the actors' likenesses and that kind of thing that they could put on there and kind of spruce up that packaging a little bit. But like you said, man, that poster is so iconic. It's fantastic.
Love it.
It's fantastic. And of course, Superpowers. It's Superpowers. We love it. We want more of it. We see it all the time. It's back here on always shining in the back of our videos. Always love the Superpowers logo and the Superpowers packaging. Now with the Superman movie wave, they at least did a little bit of something different with that to distinguish it from their normal comic tie-in lines and that kind of thing, with the kind of rip, the tear up in the corner, which I don't want to take credit for, and I don't want to say McFarlane is watching our videos and kind of ripping us off a little bit, but if you look back at some of our thumbnails from when these leaked long before any of the packaging was done or out or anything like that, we did something just a little bit similar to that, strikingly similar to that, actually. In fact, might be the exact same effect that is used on that packaging.
We're going to take credit for that, guys.
We're definitely going to take credit for that. We're definitely going to take credit for that. Now, the thing about the Superpowers packaging, though, is whereas the Spin Master, you get those 6 figures and you get what you get. They're on card. Superpowers gives you a bunch of options. So you can get the figures individually. A lot of those were in the stores, or you could have ordered those online when they dropped. But you also there was like a bunch of gold label releases that had slightly different packaging for that. Myself, I picked up the gold label 5-pack bundle for the main 5 figures. 1, I really like this packaging. It's just very, very cool. And 2, I actually picked up 2 of them because it kind of had the idea of, if you don't want the movie figures in here, you can do something like I did. Pardon the noise. You can open that up and you can have some other carded Superman figures in this packaging. Just a little aside, this has no bearing on the rating or anything like that, but thought that was pretty cool that you had that option to do that with some of these gold label packages. You have the vehicles and the play sets that Superpowers had, which are not going to factor into these ratings because Spin Master didn't have those, but we will give our kind of general thoughts on those toward the end of the video. Yeah, it's just great packaging. It's classic. It's Superpowers we all love it, and McFarlane has done a really good job of keeping that classic Kenner superpower styling down with all of this, with a little bit of updates for this particular wave, like the character models in the card art are a little bit more modern looking, look more like the actors in the movie, like their likenesses, and a little less, like comic books, but still keeping that same kind of comic book art style with them. So I thought that was pretty cool. Packaging to packaging, what are you thinking, Chris? Which one do you think is the winner here? I'm
just going to have to lean towards the Superpowers packaging. For the most part, there's not much difference for the Superman 78 line. You do have some good differences with the Superman the movie Superpowers line.
I agree. I give Superpowers the win here. If we're going to give the packaging on our scale, on our ranking scale, a rating, I would say the Spin Master Superman 78 is a solid good. It's very simple, but it looks great. I would say Superpowers is a so good. Is that kind of where your head is on that?
It is definitely where my head is at. I think that it could have been so good for the 78 if it did something a little bit different. Sure. But I also have to admit that I just love it is very similar to the 1978 feel. Again, if it was just maybe something a little bit different on the back, maybe to help bump it up. But no, I am 100% on board with that. Yeah. Good with the Spin Master, and then so good with Superpowers.
And let's all be glad that Spin Master didn't do on this Superman 78 packaging what they are doing on the Batman 89 packaging that they have coming out. Ooh, that's a tough one. That is not going to get a good or a so good, I don't think, when we actually see those in person. But the Superman 78 simplicity in its finest. It looks great. That movie poster is iconic. Love it. Yeah, I've got a ton of memorabilia with that on there. Can't go wrong with it, but just can't top that 80s style Superpowers. And now with those packaging and presentation comparisons out of the way, let's go ahead and get into the figures themselves. And let's start with the man himself. We got to go with Superman. And we have the Spin Master 78 Superman here and the Superpower Superman 25 here. Both very good in their own right. Let's talk a little bit about this Spin Master Superman first. It is all plastic, so you don't get a cloth cape or anything like that, but I don't think you got a whole lot of cloth in the original Star Wars line either. And it does come with a very cool accessory in the kryptonite chain that Lex Luthor puts around his neck in the movie. So just keeping with that tradition of packaging Superman with the thing that kills him, just like Toy Biz did with the Superman ring. Gotta love that.
Good call.
Gotta love that. But Chris, give me your thoughts on this Superman 78 from Spin Master.
I really like it. Like I said, it does a great job looking at a 1978 toy. It doesn't have that likeness of Christopher Reeve, but you do know, obviously, it's Superman. The details, though, for it is spot on for the 78 movie. The cape is the appropriate length for it, and of course, that green kryptonite necklace is awesome.
And, you got a lot of complaints initially when these first dropped. Like, I think a lot of people, the leaks kind of insinuated that these might be in scale with Superpowers, and a lot of people were excited about that. I'm among them. I was very excited about that, and then they kind of dropped, and it was something different. For the idea behind it, man, I love that idea. Like, this is what these would have looked like if they'd have come out when the movie came out, and Kenner had made some Superman 78 figures. So I do like that. It took a couple of minutes for me to warm up to it, but once I did, I'm digging it. The costume looks spot on. The logos, the crest on the cape and the chest look very good.
I was gonna say, for me, I think the only little dings I can have on it, again, besides it not looking exactly like Christopher Reeve, that's fine. I think the logo sits a little too low. Too low, yeah. And then his red shorts, if we do like a side-by-side comparison with like the Superpowers, how they painted the top of his legs to kind of make the shorts look. This one kind of looks like he's got a super thong on. So
a little bit. Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that, but hey, I would have preferred a little bit more like
it's
shorts
a front thong. It's a front thong going on in the front. The back looks fine. But it's that front. What I do like, though, if I actually just, for the first time, I just lifted up the cape. It's got all of the belt loops painted, which is very cool.
That's detail awesome. That's
McFarlane, great. McFarlane doesn't even do that. Actually, now they proved me wrong. They did it on this Superman. But yeah, I've seen several of the McFarlane figures. They don't paint it all the way around. So that's pretty cool little detail. Again, these are $7.99 figures. To be upset about the likeness not being dead on and actually these not really that wasn't the goal of these, I think is a little bit unreasonable. You're getting a really good figure. You can tell what it is. Looks great on card if you're an on-card collector for $7.99, and it comes with an accessory. I'm loving that one. And then we can talk about the Superpowers Superman. And now this was a mixed bag for me, I think, a little bit, because I think that head sculpt is probably my favorite head sculpt of any of the Superman so far.
I'm absolutely loving this head sculpt, yeah.
But it's ever so slightly too big. Like it's almost, he's got a little bit of a big head going, especially when you take the cape off. You really notice it more. And I think it's even compounded more by the fact, with this figure in particular, that the logo on the chest is a little bit too big also, and that belt is a little bit too big. So it kind of almost makes him look squatty, even though this is the same exact body and mold that the classic Superman from Wave 9. It's the same exact bodies, but it just looks so different next to him because it's just kind of like those proportions are just a little bit off.
Yeah, I agree. The proportions are a little bit off. The logo is a tiny bit too big. The belt on here just seems to really stick out like a whole lot. It's very big. Prominent, you know?
Yeah, it's so big.
It kind of looks like a diaper, honestly.
It does, a little bit. Not my favorite as far as proportions go. Still looks good. The colors are great. Now, another small ding, and you know, this is just me nitpicking, but that cape, this cape should have been the length that the classic Superman's was, because in the movie, his cape is long. So it's kind of odd to me that they went with like the shorter cape version for this one versus the longer cape. And the logo, again, on the back is a little bit big. That logo in the movie was a little bit smaller. Of course, I can fix that. I got a Cape Master cape that takes care of both of those problems. You put that Cape Master cape on, and it is a longer cape with a smaller logo, and just makes it look so much better.
And the Cape Master cape is with the new logo too, right?
With the new logo, yes. With the correct logo, the kind of Kingdom Come style Superman 25 logo. Looks fantastic. Cape Master saving these figures again. I don't know how many that is.
One figure at a time.
One figure at a time. I've lost count how many times he has saved these figures, but highly recommend if you've picked up this figure and have not picked up a Cape Master cape. That really does enhance the look of it. But let's go ahead and give our individual ratings for these. Chris, what do you give the Superman 78 Spin Master?
Superman 78 Spin Master, you know, I like it a lot, but it's got a couple little things that are making me ding it, not give it a so good. I'm going to have it as a good figure.
As a good? And what about the Superpower Superman?
Oh boy, this one, I don't know if I'm being a little tougher on it, or, you know, I'm toying between not BS and good. Just because they're, you know, I'm kind of holding this up to a higher standard for the Superman. I do like the new head sculpt on it. I think it's the best it's done. But some of those things, like the belt on here and the logo,
just those proportions. The proportions are a little
it's all
off,
these proportions. I'm just going to go ahead and give it a good.
A good? Okay.
Yeah, I'm going with good.
I'm actually going to go ahead and give the Spin Master a so good for myself, personally.
Nice.
Those criticisms aside, and I agree with you, just the fact that it's a Reeve 78 Superman in that old style is just very cool to me. And the fact that he comes with an accessory. Like all of these Spin Masters come with an accessory. It's going to bump up all their ratings, I think, a little bit. And like I said, man, just the details on it for such an inexpensive figure, I can't really knock it that much. I have to go with so good for that one. And I'm on the same page with you on the Superpowers. I'm also going to give it a good. I was leaning towards, I was kind of bouncing back and forth between not BS and good also. Overall, the figure looks really good. That head sculpt is great. I just wish the head was just a little bit smaller, but that head sculpt is fantastic. And it, you know, customizers out there can have some fun with that. They can put it on different figures and have it just look really, really good. I don't know why it took that long to get a head sculpt like that. Now, the funny thing is it doesn't really look like David Cornsweet. It's just a classic.
Not at all.
No, it's just a classic looking Superman. So it looks really good for that reason. So which one wins for you? Which one is your favorite between the two?
Between the two of them, it's gonna be the 78 Superman.
Yeah. If that wasn't obvious. Yeah.
That wasn't obvious. I mean, you said I love it. I am, like I said, still contemplating whether I should take it out of the card or have it just displayed as is. I
don't think you can go wrong either way. I think it looks great both ways, on card or displayed out of card. So, but yeah, Superman 78 Spin Master, that wins this round. And now our next comparison is going to be a little bit different. Obviously, we don't have, one-to-one comparisons, like I said. So what we are going to do is we're going to compare Lois Lane to Mr. Guy Gardner, Green Lantern. So we've got the Guy Gardner Green Lantern and the Spin Master Lois Lane. And my reason for this comparison is their haircuts are somewhat similar in the way these look. Let's start with the Spin Master Lois Lane. Now, the fact that we even got a Lois Lane at all, that's awesome. I love that. That's already topping McFarlane in the fact that we get a female action figure. That is fantastic. She's got the kind of the classic pantsuit that she wears in the movie and comes with her trusty notebook, so that is very cool. She also comes with an accessory. Looks great. She's smaller than the other figures, which makes a lot of sense. She was, smaller, obviously quite a bit smaller than all of the other characters that we'll be looking at. And so it makes sense that they're keeping those all in scale. Love that as well. Yeah, Chris, give me your thoughts on Lois Lane.
Yeah, Lois, I think what's funny is even though we said Superman didn't look a lot like Christopher Reeve, this one with Lois Lane, I saw Margot Kidder in it almost right away.
Really, yeah, I agree. I think that face sculpt is good.
Yeah, they're very good with it. I love her little notepad is, I spent the night with Superman. Like, how cool is that?
Yeah.
But no, I love it. This is a fantastic figure. And like you said, we haven't ever had one from the Superpowers line of a female. And we've been wanting a Lois Lane or any type of a female figure for a really long time. Now, it would be great as if they actually had a Clark Kent one as well. But hey, I'll take Lois Lane any day, anytime. But no, I love the way that they actually designed her, and I just really can't say enough good things about her.
This one's really good.
You're already going to have an idea for my rating on this one, but what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree 100% with everything you said. I think she looks fantastic. You're right. The face sculpt actually does resemble Margot Kidder a lot. Yeah, let's just give our ratings now. It's just so good.
So good.
Easily is so good.
Easily is so good.
And
see, McFarlane, you got to do those. You get a lot more so goods with the females. I'm telling you.
And now let's talk a little bit about the Superpowers Guy Gardner from Superman the movie. Now, we talk about face sculpts. They actually did a fairly decent job for a Superpowers figure. This is a pretty solid likeness to the Guy Gardner in the movie. The body sculpt is fine. Now, this does share the same body sculpt as Mr. Terrific, which we'll talk about later. So the ring is not sculpted on, it is only painted on. So it's the exact same body mold. That's how you can kind of tell that. Looks pretty good. It definitely matches the look of the Guy Gardner costume from the movie. I like the kind of plastic jacket that it comes with. Not soft goods or anything like that, but the way it fits around him and everything looks really nice, really streamlined. The Guy Gardner costume in the Superman 25 movie is not my favorite Guy Gardner look, so I definitely prefer the other Guy Gardner figure that we got earlier in the Superpowers line, the more comic accurate one. But this one is not trying to look like the comics, it's trying to look like the movie, so for that, it does a pretty good job. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree. I think it does a really good job with looking like the movie figure. I will actually say that the bowl cut, I hate bowl cuts, but the bowl cut on this figure actually looks better than Nathan's did in the movie itself.
I agree with that. It actually looks like he has like a shaved sides and back rather than just kind of shaggy hair all over.
Yeah, exactly. So I really like the way they actually designed this Guy Gardner in this one. Like you were saying, it's not my favorite outfit. It is pretty much the exact same as Mr. Terrific. I'm going to go ahead and give my rating on him just as is. I think he's so good.
He's so good. Okay.
Just because I like him a lot.
Very cool. I'm going to go good on him. He's not quite so good for me. I am dinging it for not having a sculpted ring on like the other Green Lantern figures that they've had. So going to go with the good there. But who wins this round? Is it Lois or is it Guy? Because you had two so goods.
Yeah, I have two so good. So this one is pretty difficult, but I'm going to go with the 78 again.
Yeah, me too.
I like the Spin Master one.
Me too.
We haven't had a female before, the Superpowers line. So for me, that's an instant W for Spin Master.
Instant W. Again, it comes with an accessory. Looks really good. And yeah, surprisingly, like how good that face sculpt is actually on this. When you look at the other face sculpts, it's probably the best one they have for this line. 100% going with Lois Lane myself as well. And our next comparison will be against the two evil Kryptonian baddies, I guess technically Kryptonian in Ultraman's case. We've got Ultraman from the Superpowers line, Superman 25 movie, and General Zod, the best General Zod ever from Superman 78. So let's talk a little bit about this General Zod. First of all, it's so weird that he comes with the Phantom Zone as his accessory. He's got the little Phantom Zone, but the art on it is so cool. You actually get all 3 Kryptonians on there. So hopefully Spin Master gets a chance to do Non and Ursa at some point, so that we can have all 3 Kryptonians together. Then the Zod himself, man, looks good. Head sculpt, not too bad. It's not exactly looking like Terrence Stamp there, but you can tell who he is. And I love the little chest hair that he's got sticking out.
No, yeah, 100%. I was going to say the same thing. I love how they have the little chest hairs all sticking out like that.
His little stern bush coming up over the costume.
Stern bush.
Love it.
And you think about it, I mean, the only other accessory that you could really give for Zod was the hula hoops. I mean, because it wasn't really much anything else in Superman the movie.
In Superman the movie, no, yeah. So like Mattel had the General Zod that they put out back when they did that DC Comics multiverse line, the little 3.75 inch from Superman 2. So he comes with like the gun that he uses at the White House and that kind of thing. That would have been kind of cool, but again, that didn't happen in Superman 78. So the Phantom Zone does make quite a bit of sense. It's just a really funny accessory to include, and I think that's actually very cool. It's a very cool accessory.
Yeah, I love it. It's like he's looking at himself though, you know.
He's holding himself in his hands. I love it.
So it actually has a surprisingly good amount of detail.
It's really good detail.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, this is a really good figure again for this line and how cheap it is.
Really good figure. Yeah, it's got the down to the wrinkles in the costume. Very, very cool. So I think that's another so good. I think it's another so good for me.
Yeah, 100%, man. I'm agreeing with you. It's another so good for this one.
I think that the Phantom Zone accessory actually popped it up to a so good for me. I think if it didn't have that, it probably would have just been a good. But I love that accessory. It's so weird and it's so cool. And now we can talk about the Superpowers Ultraman. Now, again, spoilers. This turned out to be a Superman clone in the movie. So this is technically a Kryptonian, so these two do kind of compare to each other. Now this particular Ultraman, it's on the original Superman body, so I kind of almost wish they'd have just used the same body mold, Superman Classic style, or the one that came in this wave, just to kind of have them be a little bit more equal. But this one actually works okay for it and comes together really well for that kind of streamlined look that has a kind of soldiery kind of look that Ultraman had. Still looks to me like this is a little too purple. Like I feel like the suit, there may have been a hint of purple in the movie, but I've watched it a couple of times now and it just looks more like a black suit to me in the movie.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. And I was trying to think about why they would have made it a little bit more purple. I think it would have been too close to black noir, you know? So I think that's the reason why they made it more purple. But yeah, I don't know how many times I've already seen that movie, 3, maybe 4 times. And
yeah.
Maybe my eyes just aren't as good as they used to, but I didn't see any purple like whatsoever.
I really didn't either. Maybe you had to turn the contrast up a little more or something like that, but I agree. I didn't see any. Now, as far as the head sculpt, the figure itself, like it looks pretty good, but it does look like a purple black noir. So for me, it's fine. It's okay. It's not bad. It's not good. I'm going to go with not BS for this whole thing.
Oh, man. I was hoping you were going to choose good and I could choose not BS by myself. No, I'm going the same way, not BS on this one as well.
So I think we know then by default who's going to win this round. That's going to be good old General Zod. Rest in peace, Terrence Stamp. I'm glad that you got your action figure. This is very cool, and that Phantom Zone really put it over the top for me. So
definitely giving that one a win. I mean, Spin Master's up 3-0 right now. We got 3 more figures to go.
No, 3-1, because Superpowers won the packaging.
Okay, yeah, okay, I'll give you that one.
So from the figures themselves, yes, they're
figures themselves. That's what I was going for, but yeah, you got me.
All right, let's see if we can change that. We have our comparison here is going to be the greatest criminal mind of our time, Lex Luthor, and Metamorpho from Superman 25. Now, of course, we'll start with Lex again. Love his accessories. The reason I put these two together is because take off one of Lex's accessories. They both got those chrome domes. So got the two bald guys here for our comparison. But I do love, this one actually comes with two accessories. You get the wig and you get the newspaper talking about the missiles. Love that. Actually love the detail on that. You can almost read it. You can like, if you have good eyes, you can almost read that newspaper. So it's really cool that he comes with those two accessories. And just love that he comes with a wig. Love the story that Gene Hackman just wouldn't shave his head, so they had to do a bald cap right at the end. You can have him with his wig on, how he looked through the majority of the movie, or you can have a classic Lex Luthor. And now what's funny is the Lex Luthor without the wig on actually reminds me a lot of the Toy Biz Lex Luthor. Except he doesn't punch himself in the head.
You beat me to it. I was going to say the exact same thing, man. Great minds. Great minds.
Great minds.
But no, yeah, I 100% agree with you on this. I love this Lex Luthor, the classic purple suit. That newspaper, it makes sense. He read it a little bit on there. I kind of would have preferred maybe something else, maybe like a chunk of kryptonite or something, even though Superman had the kryptonite necklace.
I was going to say, you can use the Superman chain as an accessory for him as well. So
they should have given him the chest that chain was
that would have been good.
You know how cool that would have been? So then you get both of them, you can combine them. That would have been awesome. That would have
been really cool. Yeah.
But I do love the wig feature like that. That's cool.
I love that. I love the suit. Looks pretty spot on to the suit Gene Hackman wore in the movie, down to the ascot and the flower and everything like that. Love it. Man, yeah, another really solid figure from Spin Master there.
Yeah, and I just noticed, just looking at the package just now, he's actually wearing a watch on his left hand there. I was looking at that, I was like, oh, they got a little black light, and then, oh wait, there's actually a watch face on there.
They sure do.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool.
It looks like he's got a little pinky ring on too.
Yeah, I'm saying that too, like a little tiny pinky ring.
I just noticed that. All the like photos and videos I was taking of these guys, I did not notice that he had a little ring on. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so far for me right now, of this line, Luthor's been my favorite, man.
I think he's up there. Yeah, he's up there, definitely for sure. So I'm no suspense on what our ratings are going to be for this one. I think it's fair to say 1, 2, 3.
So good.
Yep. Another so good. And now we can move on to our superpowers Metamorpho. And I'll tell you, I really do. I like this figure. I like the head sculpt that they used quite a bit. I know he wore them in the movie. Man, the shorts just, for me on the figure itself, I'm not a huge fan of that. I would have preferred like the more classic look. But at the same time, we also got a Metamorpho that had that classic look earlier in the line. So it's something a little bit different. The color scheme is different than that other Metamorpho too. But it is the same body, essentially, other than the shorts that have been added on. It's the same torso. So he is a larger figure than probably should have been. In the movie, he was like a heftier looking Metamorpho. He just wasn't as tall as this one appears to be. But other than that, solid figure. I mean, I can't really hate on it too much, but I would say I probably prefer the other more comic accurate Metamorpho from the earlier line.
Yeah, I agree. I think I do prefer the other Metamorpho as well from the line, but I can't really hate on this one either. There are some subtle changes between the two of them, but some of the details I like in this one, the face or the head sculpt that they have there, all like the little wrinkles that they have with
the ridges and stuff. Yeah,
the ridges.
Yeah, solid figure, but not my favorite. But I'm not going to be too harsh on it because I still think it's a decent figure, so I'm going to go good for the rating.
For me, I'm going to say it's another so good.
You're giving it a so good, okay.
I do, just because I really like the amount of detail that they put into this figure. All the different body parts, has something different with it. Again, it is just kind of a duplicate from the other one, but I still really like him a lot.
But not 100% a duplicate, because they have different different elements and different textures and things like that on there, and the head sculpt is completely different. So so good is I'm not upset at that rating. I think that's a solid rating for this one. That said, now you have two so goods again.
I do.
It's obvious which one I'm going to pick because my ratings were not two so goods. But let's hear it. Which one wins this round for you?
Why do I have to go first? I mean, you may surprise everybody.
Because okay, I'm gonna surprise nobody. And my winner for this round is again Lex Luthor, and I kind of agree with you. Okay. I think it's neck and neck between Lois and Lex as my favorite from the wave, but Lex is definitely up there.
Yeah, yeah, and it shouldn't be a surprise. Even though Metamorpho here is just so good, just everything that I saw in this Lex figure, just awesome. I mean, we're
It's
still
fantastic.
discovering new things. Yeah, just looking, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
So it's going to be Lex is the winner for this one. So Spin Master up 4-1.
4-1. And I'm not sure. I'm not sure there's much hope here for Superpowers to take the lead, but we'll keep moving along, and we'll go to our next comparison, and that's going to be Gary the robot, or Superman robot number 4, and Jor-El in his white outfit. This comparison somewhat makes sense because they're both figures from the Fortress of Solitude, and in fact, the Gary Superman robot could only be purchased by buying the gold label Fortress of Solitude. So you don't actually get a carded figure here. It just came in a bag and you had to get the Fortress of Solitude if you wanted it, that gold label. That's a little bit, I'm gonna go ahead and give that a knock on that superpower figure for doing that. I would have preferred if that had been, a figure you could buy separately as well. That's what McFarlane do. That's what McFarlane do. So we'll start with our Spin Master figure here. Now this is the Jor-El that you see the majority of the movie in the white outfit, either just before Krypton explodes or in the projections of him. Very cool that he comes with the green crystal, the one that gives Superman back his power and creates the Fortress of Solitude in Superman the movie. So, well, actually, I guess it gives him back his power in Superman 2. So that's for
spoilers.
Spoilers. That's a future discussion. But it creates the Fortress of Solitude and has kind of all of the knowledge of Krypton in there. I do like this figure quite a bit. I almost feel like this face sculpt and this head sculpt, you paint the hair black, this might have been a better head sculpt for Superman.
No, I agree. I was going to say, actually, when I looked at it, it did look a little bit more like Christopher Reeve than the Superman figure.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I look at it, I hate to say it, and I can actually see Marlon Brando with this one.
I can too. It really works for both of them. It really works for both. Like, I almost think they could have used the same head sculpt and just painted the hair black and put it on Superman also, and no one would have been upset about it. So he's got the robe on. It is a solid plastic again, solid plastic, no cloth goods on that one, and got the small crest on the chest. Very, very good likeness. It would have been, now again, these are very inexpensive figures, $7.99 each, so can't really expect too much from it, but it would have been kind of cool to see like some kind of a light up feature for the suit. So you get that kind of look from the movie where they're almost like wearing aluminum foil. That would have been pretty fun, but I understand why that probably wasn't a possibility. So not gonna hate on that too much. Hey, it's a solid figure, man. I think it's good. I don't think it's quite so good for me, but I do think it's a good.
Yeah, I think they could have gone a bit more brighter white. This is more kind of a cream looking.
It is a little cream,
I guess.
Yeah.
So I think I would prefer it to be slightly whiter. There's no way we could have done any type of like a reflective type of material on it. So I'm gonna have ding it a little bit on there, but overall I think it looks really good. Like I said, I really dig the face sculpt that they have on there. I love the green crystal on there, and it looks like you should be able to hold that no problem. So yeah, I'm going to be with you on that one. I'm saying this Jor-El is a good.
All right. And then we can talk about Superpowers Superman Robot number 4, or as we affectionately know him as, Gary. Really love this figure. In fact, I pretty much only bought the gold label Fortress of Solitude for this figure, and that was an expensive figure to just get this figure. Again, I really wish it would have come carded, so I'm going to ding it a little bit just for that. But other than that, man, I really love this figure. The Superpower 7 points of articulation just works really well for this robot. The only real ding I have on this, other than not being a single carded figure, is the neck is pretty small, so that cape comes off very, very easily. So like when you're trying to pose him or take pictures of him and stuff, you kind of almost have to hold it on so it doesn't keep slipping off. Other than that, looks really good. I love that they even included the cape for him. So I just don't really have anything bad to say about this figure other than it had to be purchased inside of a gold label Fortress of Solitude set.
Oh yeah, I'm the same way. This character, Gary, looks really great. I do like all the detail that they put into it, like the actual like mechanical like movement pieces in here, making it super thin. So that's something we haven't seen in any of the other superpowers before.
Yeah, it's a completely new mold, so that's very cool.
I mean, this one, you could also maybe reuse this as a Metallo maybe later on down the lines if
you could. I could see a lot of uses. Yeah, I could see a lot
yeah.
of uses for this. You could do like one of the Omax or something like that, or you could do like you
Ooh,
said,
that'd be a good
Metallo.
call too.
You could almost even do a Brainiac, like a version of Brainiac with this. Yeah, man, there's a lot of potential. Unfortunately, like not sure there's going to be a whole lot more or any superpowers from McFarlane in the future, but this mold could have a whole lot more use to it if there was a little bit more time to do it. As this figure.
Yeah.
I like it a lot. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it a so good.
Yeah, we can make robots 1, 2, 3, 5,
12.
as well.
Yeah.
No, I agree with you. This for me is a so good. I really like what they did with this figure. And I said the only dinging with it was, again, like you were saying, not being carded and that you had to buy the Fortress in order to get it. Yeah. That hurt it. But it didn't hurt it too much, again, because I'm giving it so good.
And yeah, this is going to be the first round for me where Superpowers takes it. This is going to be the Superpowers win. Gary gets the win over Jor-El. Even though that Jor-El is a good figure, that robot, man, it's fantastic.
Gary for the win.
Gary
yes, sir.
For
I'm going
the
to
win.
say.
All right, and for our final comparison, and these two don't really go together. We just had an extra Jor-El, and unfortunately Mr. Terrific got paired up with him. But we have the other Jor-El of the Superman 78 line, and this one is in his judge garb from when he was sentencing the Kryptonians, and of course Mr. Terrific from the Superpowers line. And for the Spin Master figure here, I'm not sure. I think I like the judge garb a little bit better. I like the larger, I guess like a scepter, a crystal scepter that he used to kind of pass the judgment during that scene. So I do like this one a little bit more than the other Jor-El. I would have preferred if we'd have gotten a different character besides two Jor-Els. Of the two, I think I prefer this one slightly.
Yeah, I agree. I don't really see the point of them having two Jor-Els, just like you. I do like the judge robe a little bit better, but for me, the white one was more of the iconic one.
Like I said, I like it a little bit better. I gave the other one a good. I'm gonna give this one the same rating. It's still a good for me. Slightly higher good for me, but still a good.
For me, I'm giving this one just a good as well. I mean, nothing that wowed me too much. More than the other one. I think the accessory actually brings it down a little bit for me.
Okay. And then we have Mr. Terrific from the Superpowers Superman 25 line, and this is my favorite figure from this wave. I really like this one a lot. I think this works for a comic accurate Mr. Terrific, or you can display it with the movie figures and it works for both. Now he does, obviously have that Justice Gang logo on his chest, so that's not 100% comic accurate, but something fairly easy to ignore. The rest of the costume looks fantastic, looks very comic accurate with, you got the fair play on the side and all of that kind of thing, got the Terrific on the back. Looks really good, the colors are great, love the black, white, and red theme there, and the mask is fantastic. I love that figure. For me, that's a so good figure as well. So like I said, it's my favorite of the wave. Gary was close, but because I had to spend extra to get him, this is my actual favorite of the wave.
He's still a great figure for me as well. I think he's definitely the second favorite, or my second favorite of this line. They did a really great job with him. I mean, everything you said. The only thing that could have made him even better, in my opinion, put him past Gary, is if he had his T-spheres.
100%. 100%.
If he just had those little things.
If any of these Superpowers figures had an accessory at all, it would have bumped those ratings up on probably most of the figures. So it's just unfortunate that you don't get a whole lot of accessories in the McFarlane Superpowers line.
Yeah, exactly, man. But this one is another so good, in my opinion. One of the best figures I think that they've actually done through the entire Superpowers line.
I agree. Yeah, this one's up there. This one is up there. I think it goes without saying that Superpowers takes this round for the Superpowers versus Spin Master Retro Superman battle with these two final rankings. That puts the Spin Master set ahead 4-3, but Superpowers caught up just a little bit. Now that's on paper. We will get to our final rankings for each of the sets and which ones we liked most in just a second. But as we said earlier in the video, we are not taking into account the vehicle, the Mr. Terrific T-Craft, and the Fortress of Solitude playset into our rankings. This was just figures only, but we'll go ahead and give our quick thoughts on those two items that were in the Superpowers line. And they can largely be summed up in one word, and that's underwhelming. The vehicle, it was one of the more expensive vehicles. The prices had gone up for a vehicle the size of what was essentially Brainiac's skull ship. That was about $19.99. This one came out to $24.99 or so, maybe a little bit more than that. Definitely not worth that price. People are finding it on sale now. I think I saw someone get it for like $6 recently. So at that price, sure, it is worth it. At the price it was at release, not so much. And it really doesn't even match the box art. It doesn't have any of the landing gear, anything like that. It, just like I said, a little bit underwhelming. And the Fortress of Solitude, kind of in the same boat on that. I think, and this was totally on us, and I think a lot of people felt this way too. We were just kind of expecting more from it. You know, think of the Kenner Hall of Justice, or you think of the Batcave Wayne Manor combo sets that Kenner had put out and Toy Biz had put out way back in the day. That's kind of what we were hoping for, something with some play action, a lot more plastic, and what it was is just cardboard with just a little bit of plastic, and no real action features or anything like that at all. And those prices were a little bit high. Like for a playset that had those features, $40, $50 with the gold label with the robot, that probably would have been, digestible. Not for cardboard. Those aren't cardboard prices in my mind.
I was thinking more like the He-Man days. We had Castle Grayskull or Snake Mountain, like that type of a play set. I didn't have like the Hall of Justice or anything before, so I've seen those, but man, I can only imagine a Fortress of Solitude in that type of a style.
Well, like we could even look at some of the prototypes or mock-ups, I should say, from people like Toy Otter, what those looked like.
Dude, those look great.
Right? Like if we'd have gotten something like that, it would have like knocked it out of the park. And for this to be potentially the final wave of superpowers and to kind of end it with, because they'd been killing it with the vehicles up until this point, to kind of end it with something that's okay but not great. And the first playset for superpowers in 40 plus years to end with essentially cardboard. It's a little, like I said, just meh, underwhelming. But those will not be factoring into our final rankings, so we can go ahead and get to those. Now, let's start with superpowers. Chris, what do you rank the full set of 6 figures of superpowers for Superman 25?
Full set, I think I'm just going to have to lean towards a good for it. There were some that I thought were so good, others, not BS. So, yeah, right down the middle, it was just a good line for me.
Yeah, it just kind of averages out too good.
Yeah.
I'm kind of there too because I think, most of our rankings were pretty much lining up about the same for those figures. I think it, like we talked about Mr. Terrific being one of our favorite figures in the entire McFarlane Superpowers line. So that's strong. The Superman, the head sculpt on that was just really, really good, but the overall Superman figure itself, little bit kind of just the proportions were a little bit off.
Yeah, those proportions just really, that hurt it.
Yeah. So it kind of knocks it down a little bit. And I'm also taking into consideration that we got 2 characters that we'd gotten previously. Now, I understand that they were in the movie, in Guy Gardner and Metamorpho, were what essentially amounted to kind of like almost repaints or just re-releases of those. I would have much more liked to have seen characters that we didn't have, like a Hawk Girl or a Lex Luthor. Like the fact that we didn't get those characters, like if there was ever a time to do a Hawk Girl, this was the easiest time to do that. Yeah, so we didn't get a Lois, we didn't get a Lex, and Lex too. There hasn't been a Lex Luthor yet. Should have been an easy Lex there. So that's somewhat disappointing. So I was leaning good when we got into this conversation, and now I'm talking myself down to I think I'm gonna go not BS.
Well, there you go.
For Wave 12. Yeah, for Wave 12 with superpowers. Not a bad wave really at all. It's just kind of like what we were just talking about with the vehicles. Just for me, a little bit underwhelming, especially if it's the last set of superpowers that we're ever going to see. So we got a good, we got a not BS, and I think it's safe to say we're probably going to be on the same page for the Spin Master Superman 78 set. Our rankings were pretty much in line the entire way through. Let's go ahead and say that in 3, 2, 1.
So good.
Yeah, that was a so good set, and it's not going to be for everyone. It's not something that, like, if you're not into that kind of vintage Kenner Star Wars style of figure or figures that don't have a ton of detail, those do not, and can certainly understand those viewpoints. In fact, I was initially in the same boat on that. It was just like, it was one of those things where I got so hyped up that it was going to be potentially in the scale of, superpowers, that when I saw it was like, I wasn't a big Kenner Star Wars collector when I was a kid. Didn't collect any. I may have had 1 or 2 figures just incidentally, like picked up from a garage sale, something like that. But they weren't like, I didn't play with them really that much. And so then I saw them, and then I thought about the idea behind it, and like if they had come out at that time, that's what they would have looked like. Got more into it, and yeah, they won me over big time, won us both over big time. And there's not a whole lot of bad things to say about it, other than kind of similar in the same vein to what we were talking about with superpowers. I think I would have preferred, instead of 2 Jor-Els, 1 additional character besides a second Jor-El, and that could have been like a Clark Kent or an Otis or Miss Tessmacher or Jimmy Olsen, something like that. Other than that, I don't really have anything too negative to say about it.
Yeah, me neither. The only kind of downside again that I thought we saw was for Lex Luthor's accessory piece was the newspaper. To me, again, that one didn't make a lot of sense. I think everybody would have loved to have seen like the map.
Yeah, the map would have been awesome, especially if instead of a second Jor-El, it had been like a Miss Tessmacher, and then you could have had like Tessmacher Peaks on there.
Yes, exactly. Or Otisburg.
Yeah, or Otisburg. Yeah, who doesn't love Tessmacher Peaks and Otisburg? So, and I also want to give a shout out to the designer of these Spin Master figures. I recently connected with him on Instagram. Just a nice dude. His name is Mondo Roque, and he's actually got like the original printed designs up on his Instagram page. Go check him out on Instagram if you're not already. Yeah, it's at Dreams of Robots. We'll pop the information up, and the designs that his original designs actually look a little bit better than the figures came out. so which it's understandable. I'm sure Spin Master doesn't have the budget for those kinds of designs to look as good as Mondo made them look. Those figures, and we're saying like those figures aren't for everyone for sure, but they're also, I think we mentioned this before, $7.99. Like
that's
those
awesome.
Are super inexpensive.
That's my price range.
Right. Like that's your price range. They're cheaper than the Superpowers figures. You get accessories. So in summary, like again, these Spin Master figures probably not for everyone, but for us, they hit all the right marks. So for that reason, who had the better retro Kenner style Superman wave in 2025? McFarlane Toys with Superpowers or Spin Master with Superman 78? For us, it's Spin Master with Superman 78. And hopefully this is not the actual end of Superpowers, but if it is a little bit underwhelming to go out with what we got in this wave. Again, not a bad one.
And I think McFarlane has the rights all the way through 2026, correct. Right?
Yeah. So that was recently like kind of clarified, is that they do have the rights to continue making figures, well, to continue selling figures at least through 2026, and Mattel will start putting stuff out in 2026 as well. So there's going to be some kind of overlap there, but we have not seen anything about any new superpowers, no leaks, no rumors, no photos, nothing like that, guys. So this could very well be the end. We'd kind of gotten our hopes up a little bit at SDCC when, I believe it was Brian from McFarlane Toys said, yeah, we got some more superpowers on the way, and then it's just been kind of silence since then. So this may very well be the last wave, and if so, for us, like I said, again, just a little bit underwhelming, but Spin Master picking up the slack there with this Superman wave. But guys, let us know down in the comments what you think about these two sets. Which set you prefer? Is it Superpowers? Is it Spin Master? Let us know all of that down in the comments. We want to hear from you. And while you're down there, give this video a like if you haven't already. And hey, if you're new here and you're down there dropping some comments or giving this video a like, or maybe even giving it a dislike because you just can't stand our opinions, that's okay. But go ahead and consider subscribing to the channel. We would certainly appreciate it. Love to have more friends to BS with on the daily. And if you're really liking what we're doing, hey, share this video with your friends who are also like Superpowers and Spin Master nerds. Then they might get a kick out of it. And if you don't like us, you're one of those that hit the dislike button, you're about to check out of this video, but you're sticking around to hear what we have to say, share it with people you don't like. And we'll be absolutely okay with that as well. So Chris, do you have anything else before we close this video out?
So yeah, I guess the only thing that I have to add on is, like Steven said, if you guys haven't already done so, check out our Instagram channel. We have a lot of really great content on there. We post some sneak peeks of our YouTube content. We also have contests that we'll occasionally post up there. So yeah, again, a lot of really fun content that we're always posting on there. It's a little bit more active than we are on YouTube because, hey, it takes us a good while to post some of this stuff. So go check us out on Instagram. Yeah.
Yeah, guys. And by the way, thank you for mentioning that. Thank you guys, all of our current subscribers and new subscribers, even since the last upload. Thank you guys for being patient. I know our upload schedule is not as swift as it used to be. We used to be getting videos up weekly, and it's been more like monthly this year due to various reasons. We're both in physical therapy right now, got different kinds of pains, aches and pains, and then life in general. So these videos do take us a little bit longer, so we certainly appreciate your patience and sticking around and sticking with us through those longer waits for videos and still watching us when we do drop them. So thank you guys so much for all that you do, and we will catch you guys in the next one.
Have a great one, guys.